I don't like being uncomfortable.
It is hard to be uncomfortable, but I
Mhm.
think even in education, it is so needed for us to be uncomfortable in moments because we need to grow.
We definitely do. Seasoned teachers have a plethora of skills, knowledge, and things that they've had over time. Do they need to be uncomfortable now? Haven't they earned the right to be comfortable? Welcome back to the Stand Tall Leadership Show. I'm Steve Bowler. I'm here with Meg Deity, and we're the co-host here of the Stand Tall Leadership Show. We're excited to be back with you guys. How things been going for you,
Yeah.
Meg?
Oh, it's been going great. It's been going great. The weather in Wyoming has been exceptionally well. It's raining
Mm.
in
Ooh, knock
February,
on wood.
which is weird.
Knock on wood.
Yep.
Let's hope
Knock
that's
on
the
wood.
same.
Yeah, good. Good. Yeah, other than that, my kids are doing all the sports things. We've got four, so we're everywhere playing Uber mom, but it's been great.
Yep.
It's been great.
Yep. That's all you do.
Over
I
there.
remember those days just running. I had three kids, they're all older now. And yeah, the Uber dad, just go, drive here, drive there. Although we're about to take my daughter down to Orlando, cheerleading national championship. They are the reigning champs, defending champions. They won nationals for their division last year for their game day. So everybody's coming after them this year. It's and they're ranked pretty high, like year after year. Burlington Township, New Jersey, they're ranked really, really high. There's a movie out about Burlington Township.
Oh,
Um,
that's cool.
yeah, there was a movie out when I don't know, about 10 years back or so. They did a cheerleading movie about this team. Um, Documentary of some sort. Yeah, it's like big deal. So, but yeah, that's my world, what's going on right now. So
Yeah.
getting ready
Well,
to
good
handle
luck
that.
to her. Good luck to her.
Thank you. Thank you. All right.
Yeah.
So the theme for this episode is all about your comfort level, right? It's getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. That's what it's all about. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't like being uncomfortable. I'm 6'7". Most of my life is uncomfortable. The world does not fit me or people my height, but I have to make adjustments. You know what I mean? I get on and I'll get on and off planes all the time. I travel constantly, and it's nice when I get first class. It is, but even first class, it's not designed for someone my height, and I'm uncomfortable, and I have to make adjustments. But it's necessary. It's part of the deal. I got to be uncomfortable and I got to get used to it in order to do what I have to do. But the focus that we're doing isn't about travel so much as it is as it relates to your personal growth and with education. So, what are your thoughts on this, Meg?
Yeah. Well, it is hard to be uncomfortable. It's like we don't want to do that. We try to like find the path that we can be comfortable in. But I
Mhm.
think even in education, it is so needed for us to be uncomfortable in moments because we need to grow. We need to
Mhm.
grow so our students can grow. And to do that, we have to have uncomfortable situations.
We definitely do. I mean, first, before we dive into, I think, even with ourselves as adults and teachers and administrators and staff, with the students, we know that when the students are struggling with a concept, when the students are working through a concept, when the students grapple and get uncomfortable, that's when you're going to see the most growth out of them.
Mhm.
Because the end result of that aha moment when they get it, or they feel proud of themselves of what they've done, or they've taken the test and they've had a hard time with it all the time, and they worked hard and they end up getting a B, not even A, but they're like, yeah, I got the B. That's what we are here for, That's what we're here for, to see the kids grapple with things, hard things, so that they can be better. But yet, as us as adults, we want to be comfortable.
Yeah.
We're not necessarily, we have to think of that way with ourselves also, so that you can be better, so you can get the outcomes that you want to see in everything that you do, right?
Yeah. And I think when you were saying that those students are working hard to get to this point, they're uncomfortable, they have to work hard in that moment. I think as adults, sometimes we're like, I don't really want to work hard at this. It's working out. I think I'm just going to stay comfortable, even kill. So I think that's where, it changes. As adults, we sometimes fall into this rut almost of, I don't really want to work that hard at that. Do I need to feel uncomfortable to get to this next thing?
But let me ask this question. Our veteran teachers, and I love my veteran teachers, our seasoned teachers, we'll call them seasoned. Seasoned teachers have a plethora of skills, knowledge, and things that they've had over time. Do they need to be uncomfortable now? Haven't they earned the right to be comfortable?
No. I mean,
all right, thank y'all, everybody. Have a good night.
Yep,
I appreciate
that's
it.
That's it.
No.
I like how you say seasoned teacher, because when I start thinking of myself as a veteron teacher, I don't really like.
No,
Seasoned sounds so
seasoned.
much better.
Seasoned, yes. You got a little paprika, girl. That's it.
Yeah. Okay. So we need to constantly be uncomfortable in education, because it's changing all the time. Our students are needing us to be uncomfortable. They need to grow. And I think that's the challenge as veteran teachers, new teachers, seasoned teachers. We need to find the things that keep moving our students forward, moving our students to be uncomfortable so that they work hard. We have all these great seasoned teachers that have all of these things that they have mustered away. Maybe we just use them a different way, that you haven't used them before, to feel a little bit more uncomfortable than that. Make your students work for it.
But I'm going to press even harder here. All right, we have seasoned teachers. They have these strategies, and we know that we press our kids, they do better. But you know what? I've had these years of experiences, and these kids aren't fitting within it. That's on them. How come, I know this works. These kids are now lazy. These kids are now different kids, the post-pandemic kids. What do you say to teachers are like that? I'm a seasoned teacher, and now all of a sudden these kids aren't listening to me. It's on them.
Well, first of all, our students are much different. Every year, you have to meet the needs of your students. Right. It's not going to work. Whatever worked last year is not going to work this year. Your group of students are different. How boring to do the same thing every year.
Boring to do the same thing every year. You said it right there. How boring. I don't get it. I don't get the educators. Same thing every year, again and again and again and again. That would drive me batty. But there are some that are they're content and comfortable with the same routine, the same process, the same thing every year. I wish they would just leave. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah. Yeah. Because they're not enjoying it anymore. It's just like,
couldn't be. I mean, do you really? I guess I don't know. Some people, maybe some of them do. They like the continuity of it all, but the fire couldn't be there, could it?
I don't think so. I think so. My joy of being uncomfortable is finding a new way to do it differently than I did it before. I taught 12 years in second grade, same content, same district, and every year was a little bit different, not because of the students, but because I needed to do it differently. I needed to find a better way. I needed to integrate it differently, to bring them those experiences, to be uncomfortable in my teaching so that I knew my students were growing.
Right. Now, when you're uncomfortable in your teaching and you're teaching something and you're trying these new things and trying those things out, how do you make that uncomfortableness and trying these things beneficial? Like, how can you ultimately, because you're going to fail. There's going to be some failure involved here when you're talking about being uncomfortable. How can you turn that into making it beneficial? Like, how can that be something great? out of that?
Well, reflection on what it
Reflection.
is. Reflection is on what you did. I mean, we
There
have
you
all been
go.
there. And I'm sure, Steve, you've walked into classrooms where we're like, abort mission. This
Yeah.
lesson is terrible. Just, just
Please
stop.
stop. I've actually stopped classes. Anyway, we'll go to that. That'll be another episode. But go ahead.
Well, even if you walking in and the teacher's like, you know what, this isn't working. Like we got it. We're just stopping. There's no turning that around. The kid, it's terrible. It didn't work. So there's power in that. There's power
Mm,
in those times where you had to just stop teaching. It used to just deflate me, but now, even as a seasoned teacher, there's times you're like, this is not working, and then you reflect what went really well. What are
mm,
things that I can carry into tomorrow? And what do we need to not do again with this class? This
yeah.
class. Because
This class.
last year it might have worked. This year it
Yes.
does not.
Yes. And don't get upset over that.
Oh,
I always say reduce, not eliminate. I love the concept that I say all the time, reduce, not eliminate. We're going to have issues, problems, concerns, failures in your teaching sometimes. And usually what we do is we go and we try to find ways to make it perfect. What can we do to eliminate the issue? What can we do to eliminate? You're not going to eliminate. It's even your best lessons have some tweaks or whatever. What you can do is reduce the issues, problems, and concerns. Look for growth. Look for ways to make it better. And if you are looking for that growth, you're reducing those issue, problems, and concerns as best you can. Recognize the reduction of it. Recognize it. Use that reflection piece to make it all better. So I love that. And I think you're right. And we did a thing before about talking about reflection and the values of reflection. I find reflection to be fun. That's just, you get inside your head and what can I do? How can I change that? And then you can feel the emotion sometimes even of that uncomfortableness. Make that a good feeling of growth and what you want to have happen differently. Yeah.
yeah. And let that drive you forward to be more comfortable with the things that you are uncomfortable with, and
Mm,
then find your new uncomfortable things. There
yeah.
you have growth. That's your
You have
growth.
growth. You have growth. It takes me back to when I was a principal of the one school, Hartford School, Mount Laurel, New Jersey. I'll name schools now. I don't work for them, so I'll just name them. But it was I loved it. I loved being at that school. I was there for 8 years. I had a teacher, new teacher. You know what? Maybe I don't even think I hired her yet. I think she was just, no, I did hire her. New teacher. Joyce Sun. I'll say her name, Joyce. She was phenomenal. Brand new teacher. She invited me in. She says, I want you to come see this lesson that I put together. And it wasn't even her time to have an observation. She's like, just come. Okay. She said, I'm trying something new. Okay. So I go beep bopping in there. That lesson bombed. Oh, it was crash. The kids didn't get it. She was talking over them, not over them, but the level of it was too high. I think it was sixth grade. It just wasn't jiving. Fifth grade or whatever. So at the end of the lesson, I said, I'll give you some feedback. She says, okay, thank you. So I wrote up a little something, gave her feedback. It wasn't a formal observation. She came to me that same day at the end of the day, and she's like, that lesson bombed. I said, yes, it did. And she says, give me a week, and then I'll invite you back.
Wow.
Give
Yes.
me a week, and I will invite you back. I almost jumped over my desk and kissed the girl. I mean, oh my girl, yes. That's what it was all about. That she tried it, she was uncomfortable, and now she started a reflection process, the uncomfortable process to change, adjust. And I went back I think it was about 2 weeks later. It wasn't a week. Actually, I don't remember. I don't want to say that. She killed it. Like phenomenal. Just just one of those lessons, like you just sit back like, man, I need to record it. Every teacher needs to see what this lesson was about. She killed it. Absolutely killed it. She crushed it. So Joyce, if you're listening, I still remember that. That was phenomenal. That's what you want.
That's
You know?
good. And you know what? We should do that. You should have things that bomb, have things personal, classroom, whatever, have them bomb because
Mhm.
that's just growth. That's fantastic. Good for her. That's
Yeah.
exciting.
That's a good one. You know me, I love my stories. I have a story for everything. I get something, yeah. But yeah, that was just a perfect example of being uncomfortable, because she was uncomfortable even making the first lesson. I'm sure she was, especially knowing that she invited the principal in. You just got hired. Like, she was a brand new teacher. And she thought she brought me in, and to sit in there and know that the lesson's bombing and you invited the principal in, must have ate her up. And then she
I
still
bet
came back. Hmm?
if she's still teaching, I bet her classroom is phenomenal.
Oh, she is. I know she's still teaching. I follow her on Facebook. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's phenomenal. She's awesome. She'd continue to be one of the best teachers, new teachers, inventive, awesome, knocking it out. She was awesome.
That's perfect. That's
Yeah.
perfect. So yeah. Okay, so let's spin this a little bit. Being uncomfortable as admin type, how do you keep growing? Because that, we can be uncomfortable because we're trying to get you to see that we're growing and our kids are growing, but what's motivating you to be uncomfortable?
Well, here's the thing, okay? I'm glad you brought this up, because some admin are afraid to be too uncomfortable. Or they know that you have to be uncomfortable, but they are cautious about making their staff too uncomfortable because of the backlash. Some people have certain views and opinions about admin, regardless if you're good or not. As soon as you say admin, it's like, oh, here comes the ties, here comes the skirts, here they come, they're on charge, and they don't want to do it, and they give you pushback. And I think that as an admin, yes, you have to be aware of the political landscape, you have to be aware of the culture and the climate within your building, but allowing for that uncomfortableness to happen is huge. You still have to bring forth ideas, processes. You have to push your teachers. The way that I think that this best works is if you as an admin just be blatant and obvious about what it is you're doing. I don't think admins say enough of what they're doing. Go to the teacher. I think I'm trying to make you uncomfortable to help you grow. Say it. Like, literally say it. I am saying this because I know it's uncomfortable, but I think it will help you grow, as opposed to, I'm going to give this to her and I'm going to see her. She's going to grow on this. No, say it to her. I mean, as a teacher, if your admin just came out and told you what the purpose was, how would you feel?
Listen, there's times that still to this day, I'm like, is he making that decision? Am I following? Does he know? Am I like, we try to guess. We try to guess. What are we need to do? Do you like that? Just tell me what
dating,
you like.
bad dating.
I know.
Like bad dating. Oh, yes, just be blatant.
Just give it to me straight.
Give it to him straight. Now, please be eloquent. Say it in the right way. All those things. Think about how you're using your words, but say it. Just let them know. Now, if you want feedback, now we can go into decision-making, 5 levels of decision-making, do all that kind of stuff, but I'm not getting into that. But that's a big piece of this. I mean, and you have to take chances. You got to do things. You have to, and again, being uncomfortable and learning from your mistakes, owning those mistakes as admin, because sometimes we get into administrivia and we're administrivia. Oh, you can't do that. Oh, I'm an administrator. Look, own those daggone mistakes. Own the mistakes. Know the uncomfortable, feel and lean into it. Oh, I got another story. All right. Me and my story.
Okay.
All right, here we go. It was the best mistake I ever made. I don't know if I've mentioned this on the podcast before or not. Best mistake I ever made. So I was at that Hartford school, right? My assistant principal at the time, she just got a job as a director of some other school. So she was on her way out. But leading up to that point, she was the one that did the data during the summer to identify the students who would be in compacted math and accelerated math. So we had 3 levels of math: regular math, compacted, which is 1 year ahead, and then accelerated math, 2 years ahead. We actually, and it was always a small little group. So I said to her, could you please, before you leave, make sure you do the data to make it work. Okay, got it. She got caught up. She wasn't able to do it. So I was like, fine, I'll do it. I have dyslexia. All right. Let's just leave it at that. I'm not good with reading. I'm not good with writing, but regardless. And in math, I'm not even the best. So somehow I mixed things up and I identified, and I'm thinking, man, we did awesome. We did amazing. We have all these kids in compacted and accelerated math. So I put them all, we identified them. We sent the letters out.
Oh no.
It was wrong. We had easily doubled the amount of kids in compacted and accelerated math in 5th and 6th grade. And how are you going to send a letter to the parents and say, oops, your kid's not in higher level math? Huge mistake. All right. I was very uncomfortable. I had to own it. So I reached out to my teachers. I said, okay, we're going to do some training for our teachers so that they can now teach these other groups of accelerated and compacted math. Because I said, no, they're going to stay in there. So the teachers came to me. They're like, are we going to lower things down a little bit? Because these kids, they're really not compact and accelerated kids. I said, no. Teach it at the highest level that you're supposed to teach it. Our test scores soared. The kids believed that they were accelerated and compacted math, so they rose to the challenge. It worked. Our scores, because they believed in it. So perfect example of making a huge mistake, owning the mistake, moving forward with it. Teachers were uncomfortable. I was uncomfortable. I was sweating, man. That whole year I was sweating. It was like, well, it was probably by the end of the first quarter, the teachers were coming to me like, Steve, look at this. Look at this. These kids are doing it. I'm like, oh my gosh, there are. What about that kid? Yeah, him too. Get out. One of those. There you go. I love my stories.
There you go. That's perfect. And what a good uncomfortable moment to show like so much growth. Yeah, I could go off on that story. That's good.
Yeah,
it's good.
But it's true. You're talking about, we switch it over to the admin side. You got to be uncomfortable on the admin side too. That's how that growth happens.
You can't expect your teachers to be uncomfortable and grow if you're not going to do it yourself. Because we watch. You are the people that we try to, impress, do well, show off to. I'm a firm, oh, did you see me do that? I love when someone recognizes someone else.
Yeah.
It's especially when it was hard.
Yeah. And again, as an admin specifically, be blatant about it. Let people know I'm uncomfortable. I'm doing this and I'm pushing. Just say it. You're not bragging, because it's not. You're being real. Be real. It's a phenomenal leadership skill that really goes. It pushes your teachers. It makes them it gives them permission to do it as well.
Yep. Goes back into the classroom too. If you are being real with your students, hey, this lesson, we totally messed it up here. Like, this was not right. I didn't teach that right. We got to try it again tomorrow. That be real part, making that connection, building that family is it's so powerful. Then you have that permission to feel uncomfortable, and it's a safe space.
Yeah, it is. That's it. Works with the admin, works with the teacher, works in your family, works everywhere. That's what it's all about. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. That's what it's all about. That's what we're doing. Make it happen. Well, hey, we wrapped it up. This is the end of our next episode. And as always, we're reminding you, if you're an educator, you want to speak, train, or consult, go to withinOurRanks.com. Our next cohort is the last weekend in June 28th, 29th, and 30th in Philadelphia. And what's one word that could explain the retreat? Meg, what would be a word? I'm putting you on the spot.
Impactful.
Impactful. Yes, I would agree with you on that. It is impactful. Yes, because it's eye-opening to the world of educational speaking and how you can truly make a difference. I mean, beyond the classroom or the admin or whatever your situation might be. Maybe you just got your doctorate. Now you want to speak some more. This is how you can do that. Maybe you're a seasoned teacher and you have experience and you know what to do. You want to share it with others. This is your opportunity. Maybe you're a curriculum specialist. You want to go, maybe you're a special ed specialist. Maybe you're an admin and you have ways of working with culture and class. This is it. This is how we can take it to the next level. So go check out withinouranks.com. All right. All right, Meg. It's always great working with you. This is so much fun. It is fun.
I hate that it ends. It feels like it just ends so quickly, but until next time.
Until next time. Oh, hey, let's do this. What are some spots you're speaking at? Coming up, what we got? March, April, May, June, July. What's some speaking areas where you're going to be? People can find you.
Okay, so Integrated is going to be virtually. We've got the Elevate virtual conference coming up. It's a phenomenal conference. We will be in South Dakota, in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and kind of all over. We're Vegas. I don't know,
you're in Vegas
Denver.
with me at the Innovative Schools Summit in Vegas. We'll both be there for that. That's all right. Yeah, you got some things coming up. I'm in West Virginia. I'm at Dunbar Middle School, West Virginia. I'm going to be in Atlanta for the Paracon. They're having a conference for paraprofessionals. Woo! Can't wait for that one. That's just
That'll be
exciting.
fun.
Actually, by the time this comes out, it already had happened. But anyway, that's exciting. I have, oh my gosh, I got a lot of stuff coming up. I'm kind of all over. I'm going back up to Buffalo, New York. I'm going to be in Alaska in April. I'm going up to, I'm going to be speaking at a reading conference up in Alaska. I'm going to be in Orlando for the Orlando Innovative Schools Summit. This summer, I'm going to be in Las Vegas Innovative Schools Summit. So yeah, a lot of places all over. And we should do another webinar. We should do like a webinar or something together.
We should record together in Vegas.
Oh, we're definitely going to do an episode in Vegas. Oh my gosh. Yes, we're going to do a podcast episode in Vegas. And just so everybody knows, we might be changing the title of this webinar, of this podcast. I might be jazzing some stuff up. So, it might not be the Stand Tall Leadership Show. We might be calling it something else, but just stay tuned. Just stay tuned. So we'll see. That might be the first episode for it, the Vegas one. Maybe do that. All right. Hey, been great. Everybody, go out there, make a difference. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable, gang. All right? Have a good one.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.